senior at Penn, graduating with a degree in biochemistry. Next year, I will most likely be in New York pursuing further education. Most of the seniors I've spoken to are a bit apprehensive of entering the real world after graduating and moving on to jobs, but I won't have to worry about any of that because I will most likely be in school for at least another 7 years. Anyways, Grace Covenant Church, where to begin? I have often found it to be the case throughout my life, and especially in college, that God has a knack for bringing to me exactly what I need when I need it. The very first week I was on campus, before I even had a chance to visit any churches, a contagiously cheerful individual living in my dorm, whose name bears striking similarity to one Roman emperor, introduced herself to me and invited me out to GCC after 5 minutes into our conversation. And from then on, I've had the privilege of calling this place my church. Just as a disclaimer, this testimony is not in any way an overview of all the good points that GCC has to offer, nor a summary of all that God has done for me throughout my college career, but rather what I have seen to be the convergence of these two things. The one defining characteristic of the GCC community that has really struck out to me as I reflected on my experiences here for the testimony that I had to write for this, is persistence. Growing up as an only child with 2 working parents, I think independence and individuality have been things I have always cherished. As such, I have always liked to keep my distance from very large communities, preferring instead to interact with people one-on-one or in smaller groups. Sunday service was a non-negotiable, but family groups were cozy enough for me to be comfortable in. What I mean by persistence is that despite my natural aversion to going on any of the retreats we have had, I think I have been in attendance for all of them, and even 2 AMI revolutions, through the constant encouragement of my brothers and sisters. And of course, God has used each and every one of those experiences to grow me in my understanding of His love. Through this loving persistence, God has shown me the importance of integrating myself in the larger Christian community. I have been made well aware of the surprising joy there is in worshiping as a corporate body for what might seem like a very, very long time. And for sharing and praying with brothers and sisters in a way that sets aside the barriers set up by my desire for independence and individuality. As such, I have learned not only how to build up in the body of Christ through the love of others, but also how to build up others through accountability and discipleship. I think the way this community has sought to draw me in is actually a pretty good reflection of how persistent God is in His love for us. Similarly, it really is difficult to fully appreciate until you really reflect on your journey and see how much it has affected your life. Of course, in this case, God's persistence led immediately to the others, so that's all I have to say. Thanks.